Well, hello people's internet, my name is Kevin and welcome back to another video. Okay guys, so for today's video I have got something that I'm really excited to film, and I've never really done anything like this before. I don't even think I've actually done a recommendations video before. Have I? What kind of booktuber am I if I've never done a recommendation video? Surely I have done a recommendations video. I need to look back on my archive and all my videos because I'm pretty sure I must have done one. But yeah, I'm doing a video where I'm going to talk to you about books that I really want you to read. Yes, you behind the screen. I want you to read these books that I've got right here, okay? So you better do it and just make me happy, okay? I'm sorry if that pressured you. I don't want to press you in any way, but I really want people to read these books if you haven't already. Because a couple of these are very hyped, so you may have already read them, but if you haven't, I really want you to read them. And also you may notice that my room is very different because my room went through a transformation, honey. We stripped everything, we hung up a tapestry, we put some fairy lights. I'm trying to be artsy here, I'm trying to look cute. Am I trying too hard? Possibly. Is it paying off? Maybe not. Just wanted to address that in case you're like, Kevin, you're not going to talk about the fact your room is completely different and your bookshelves are now separated. But yeah, now we've addressed the elephant in the room. Actually, you know what? I do not understand why people say elephant in the room. Like, what is wrong with elephants? I adore an elephant, and if I saw an elephant in the room, I would freak out. I would not be like, ooh, why is there an elephant in the room? No, I would freak out. Like, an elephant, oh my god, like, my dream is to meet an elephant. Okay, let's just jump straight into this video because I'm rambling and we just need to get into it and talk about the books that you need to read. Okay, so the first one we have got here should come at absolutely no surprise to anyone, and that is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. This book is one of my favorite books of all time, if not my favorite book of all time. Very big statement coming from me there, but it lives up to it in my opinion. As you can tell, I really liked it because I have a lot of tabs. So yeah, I've annotated this book quite a lot, and if you would ever actually like to know how I annotated this book, let me know, because I would gladly do a whole video dedicated to Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda because I adore it so much. So I would happily go through all of my colours and what each colour represents. But if you for some reason do not know what this book is about, or if you have not seen the movie Love, Simon, this book follows a guy named Simon who is a closeted gay teen in high school. He has been emailing this boy named Blue, who is also a closeted gay kid, and their emails get into someone's hands and stuff unfolds from there. I don't want to go into too much in case you haven't read it, but I'm sure a lot of you have because it's a very hyped book and the movie was everything and I've cried so many times watching it. If you haven't read this book, please pick it up. If you've only watched the movie, please read the book because the book is just everything. It's just as good as the movie, if not better. Probably better actually, let's be honest here. The book is usually always better in my opinion. And yeah, I really want you guys to read the book if you haven't. And it's just my favorite book of all time, so I really want you to read it. The next book that I have here is also another one that shouldn't really come as a surprise to you because it's another book that is like one of my favorite books of all time. And that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. Now I am very aware before we get into this that Sarah J Maas is kind of controversial with her books, and I do see a lot of flaws and problems with her writing and stuff. But I can see that she is trying to improve that. It may not be the best at trying, but we know at least she's trying, and at the end of the day that's all we can really ask for is someone to actually try. This series is one of my favorites and I really want you to read it, especially this one. This is the first book in the series. This book follows a girl named Farah who is basically the Belle of Beauty and the Beast, and then a beast basically comes and takes her and brings her to her house, because it's kind of like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. For like half of the book it's very similar to a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but then like after halfway, Beauty and the Beast who? Like, where is she? I don't know her. She's not in this book. She's not present. She left the group chat. If you haven't read this book, I really want you to read it because it's everything to me, especially the rest of the series. Like, clearly I'm obsessed because one of the main characters is on a pillow back there. Also, the tapestry behind me is a quote from the book, so I'm just obsessed and I really want you guys to read it if you haven't already. The next book that I'm going to talk to you guys about is one that I read earlier actually this year, and it's probably my favorite book of the year so far. I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. I already want to reread it. Like, I was actually contemplating rereading it this month and going through and annotating my favorite parts, and that book is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This book is actually signed, humble brag, actually not humble, I'm clearly just bragging. I actually still have my To Kevin sticker there, but yeah, for Kevin Tomey. And yeah, I met her at YLC in July, I believe, and this book is just, it's so good. If you haven't read this book yet, I don't know why you haven't. It's been on the New York Times list for a long time now, and it's getting all the recognition and hype that it deserves. I am obsessed with it. I cannot wait for the next book. And also Tomi Adeyemi, the author herself, is so adorable. I'm obsessed with her Twitter account, her Instagram account. I literally stan her so much. It's kind of embarrassing, but I don't even care. This book basically is about a world where magic used to exist, and there used to be clans and people who had certain powers and magic to them, and they could control certain things like fire, water, and then magic just disappears under the rule of the king, and any person who has magic was killed. And then we have our main character Zelie, who is here on the front cover, and she is a magi, which means that she should have magic if magic still existed, and maybe it comes back, maybe, who knows what's gonna happen. I don't know. Actually I do, because I've read it, so you need to read it too and you can find out what happens. You can love it as much as I do, you can fangirl over it as much as I do, and it's just everything. It's so fast paced, the writing is just amazing, the characters are everything. There's also multiple bays in here, and also this book gives me severe trust issues because I just don't know what's gonna happen, and like anything can happen at any moment. Like Tomi Adeyemi is a savage and literally doesn't care about our feelings. The next book that I have is one that I read quite recently, and that is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And this book is one that you need to read like right now. Like I need people to read it right now, because when I finished this book, I was an absolute emotional wreck. I literally sobbed and sobbed and sobbed, and once again, I sobbed. So if you don't know what this book is about, it basically follows a girl named Monique, who is a magazine reporter, and she gets contacted by a famous Hollywood actress named Evelyn Hugo. Monique thinks that Evelyn just wants to do an interview for the magazine, but actually Evelyn wants to write her autobiography, and she wants Monique to be the author of that autobiography. This book is just amazing. Obviously the character Evelyn Hugo is fiction, but I am here to say that I wish she was a real person. To me, she is a real person. I think that this just testifies how amazing the writing is in this book, because the character seems so real to me. Like Evelyn Hugo is a real person. I don't care if this is a work of fiction. In my eyes and in my life, Evelyn Hugo is real, okay? And it's very hyped on BookTube at the minute, and it deserves to be, because this book is just everything. If you love the movie Devil Wears Prada, this book is so similar to The Devil Wears Prada, because I love that movie so much. The characters in here remind me so much of the characters in The Devil Wears Prada, so I would highly recommend you read this. Please do it. The next book that I have to talk about is The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have already read this, but I was very late to the hype train, and I read it very late because that's just what I tend to do around here, you know? So I finally read it during the summer, and I absolutely loved it. Like, it was just an amazing read. The movie is coming out this month, and I'm so freaking excited for that movie because it's going to be everything. And if you don't know what this book is about, it follows a girl named Star who witnesses her friend get shot by a police officer, and it's basically a book about the Black Lives Matter movement, and it's just such an amazing book. So yeah, I just think everyone should read it, and that's all I can say. I just think you should read it, so just go do it. And the final book that I have to talk to you guys about is Lily and the Octopus by Stephen Rowley. Now this is a book I actually haven't talked about a lot on my channel, but I really love this book. And I read it, I think, last year, and I ended up giving it to my auntie to read also, and she really loved it too. So she read it and she loved it, so you should read it and you will also love it, and you can discuss it with me. See how I just worked that in there? And if you don't know what this book is about, it basically follows this guy named Ted and his dog Lily, and it just talks about companionship and finding someone to share your life with, and it's just such a beautiful book to me. It made me bawl my eyes out. I sobbed so much when I read this. It's just absolutely stunning, and like the writing is really genius in here because there's a lot of metaphors used, and they're really clever. And also this book is quite diverse because the main character is actually gay, and also there is mental health representation in here too, and I think the author does that really well, and he deals with it in an amazing way. He like intertwines it with like his relationship with the dog. It's just so clever to me, and I think a lot more people should read it. I haven't really seen anyone talk about it, but I feel like you should read it, and let me know if you loved it, because I loved it so much and it broke my heart. But let me know if you do read it and what you think of it, because I would love to know. So yeah, there are some of the books that I really want you to read and some of my recommendations. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. Let me know if you're adding them to your TBR because of me now, because that would just make me feel good. And other than that, I shall see you all next time in my next video. So goodbye guys.